The terror of the void. The story opens in the outer rim of the galaxy, where the merchant vessel Star Dancer drifts through space. Captain Kale stands on the bridge, watching the stars with his small crew of 5. They are traders, carrying medical supplies to the colony worlds. Suddenly, their sensors scream warnings. A massive ship appears from nowhere, dark, twisted metal that seems to eat light itself. The ship is 3 times larger than any vessel Kale has ever seen. Strange symbols glow red along its hull dot. This is a Reaper ship. For 200 years, the Reapers have been the nightmare of every spacefaring race. They appear without warning, destroy everything in their path, and leave no survivors. Entire star systems have gone dark when the Reapers arrive. The alien. Captain of the Reaper ship, Commander Vex, sits in his command throne. His species, the Kraph, are tall and thin with black eyes that reflect no light. Vex has destroyed over 1,000 ships. He expects the human vessel to run or beg for mercy like all the others. Human ship. Vex speaks through the communication system, his voice cold and sharp. You have 10 seconds to surrender your cargo and prepare to die. On the Star Dancer, the crew looks to their captain. Young pilot Tom grips his controls, ready to jump to hyperspace. Engineer Lisa checks their weapons. They have only basic shields and a few small guns. Navigator Bob calculates escape routes. They all wait for the order to run, but Captain Kale does something unexpected. He opens a channel to the Reaper ship and speaks in a calm, steady voice. Reaper vessel, this is Captain Kale of the Star Dancer. We're carrying medical supplies to sick children on Kepler Colony. You can have our cargo, but we're not running. Bridge of the Reaper ship falls silent. In 2 centuries, no ship has ever refused to flee. Vex's black eyes narrow. You will run, human. All species run from the Reapers. It is the way of things. Not today, Kale replies. If you want our ship, you'll have to take it. The crew of the Star Dancer stares at their captain in shock. Tom whispers, Sir, we should jump to hyperspace. We can't fight them. Kale shakes his head. Those medical supplies are needed on Kepler Colony. Children will die without them. We're not running. Vex cannot understand this response. Fear is the Reaper's greatest weapon. They are not the strongest race in the galaxy, but they are the most feared. Their reputation makes enemies surrender before the battle even begins. Human, Vex says, confusion creeping into his voice. You have a small ship and weak weapons. We have destroyed fleets 10 times your size. Why do you not flee? Kale looks at his crew, seeing their fear, but also their determination. Because someone has to make a stand. For too long, the galaxy has lived in fear of you. Today, that changes. The Reaper ship powers up its massive weapons. Energy builds along its hull, enough to destroy a small moon. Other craft warriors on the bridge prepare for an easy victory, but the Star Dancer does not run. Instead, Kale orders his crew to battle stations. Lisa powers up their small weapons. Tom holds the ship steady. Bob calculates firing solutions. They know they cannot win, but they will not surrender. In the depths of space, word spreads through hidden communication channels. A human ship has refused to run from the Reapers. Other vessels in nearby systems receive the news with disbelief. No one has ever stood against the Reapers before. On the colony worlds, people gather around communication screens. The broadcast from the Star Dancer is picked up by relay stations. Children on Kepler Colony, weak from their illness, listen as Captain Kale speaks words that will be remembered for generations. This is Captain Kale of the human vessel Star Dancer. We face the Reapers today not because we are brave, but because we are human. We do not run when others need us. We do not surrender when children are dying. Today, we make our stand. The Reaper ship fires its first shot, a beam of pure destruction that would normally end any battle. But the Star Dancer is ready. They roll away from the blast, their engines pushed to maximum power. The beam misses by mere meters. For the first time in 200 years, a ship has survived the first attack from a Reaper vessel. The galaxy holds its breath as the real battle begins. Vex stands from his command throne, his black eyes filled with something he has never felt before: uncertainty. The human ship should have been destroyed. Instead, it dances through space, avoiding their weapons with skill and determination. The Age of Reaper. Terror is about to face its greatest challenge. Asterisk. The Star Dancer spins through space like a leaf in a storm, but there is purpose in every movement. Captain Kale grips his command chair as another energy blast tears past their hull. The heat from the near miss makes the ship's metal walls groan. "Tom, keep us moving." Kale shouts over the sound of alarms. "Don't let them get a clean shot." "Young?" Pilot Tom's hands dance across his controls. Sweat drips down his face, but his eyes are focused. He pushes the small ship through impossible turns, using every trick he learned in flight school. The Star Dancer was never meant to fight, but Tom flies it like a fighter craft. On the Reaper ship, Commander Vex grows angry. His weapons officer, a craft named Dex, fires shot after shot. Each blast should destroy the human vessel, but somehow it slips away at the last second. They cannot keep this up forever. Dex hisses through his sharp teeth. Their ship is small. Their fuel will run out soon. But Vex is not so sure. He has fought thousands of battles, and he knows when prey is desperate and when is dangerous. The humans are not running in panic. They move with skill and purpose. This troubles him. Back on the Star Dancer, Engineer Lisa works frantically in the engine room. The ship's systems are pushed beyond their limits. Sparks fly from damaged circuits, and the engine temperature climbs into the red zone. "I can give you maybe 20 more minutes at this speed," Lisa calls through the comm system. "After that, we're going to blow our own engines." Navigator Bob calculates each dodge, each turn. His computers work overtime, predicting where the next Reaper blast will come from. "Captain, they're trying to herd us toward that asteroid field. If we get trapped there, we're finished." Kale studies the tactical display. The Reaper ship is massive but slow. The Star Dancer is fast but fragile. It's like a mouse fighting a lion. The mouse can only win by being smarter. "All stop," Kale orders suddenly. The crew stares at him in shock. Tom's hands freeze over the controls. "Sir, you heard me. Full stop. Turn us around to face them." The Star Dancer slows to a halt in space. For a moment, there is silence except for the hum of the life support systems. The Reaper ship also stops, confused by this strange behavior. On the Reaper bridge, Vex leans forward in his throne. What are they doing? The human ship hangs motionless in space, its small weapons pointed directly at the massive Reaper vessel. It looks like a child pointing a toy gun at a tank. Kale opens a channel to the Reaper ship. "Commander Vex, I know you can hear me. You've been hunting ships across the galaxy for 200 years. You've made entire species live in fear. But you've never faced humans before." Vex's black eyes narrow. "Humans die just like all the others. Your ship is nothing against our power." "You're wrong," Kale replies. "We're not like the others. We don't run because we're not afraid of you. We're afraid of something else entirely." What could humans fear more than death? Vex asks, despite himself. "We fear failing each other," Kale says. "We fear letting down those who depend on us. We fear being remembered as cowards who ran when others needed us." Across the galaxy, other ships listen to the conversation. The communication channels buzz with activity. On a dozen worlds, military commanders study their sensors. The human ship still lives, still fights. It should be impossible. Admiral Reed of the Human Defense Fleet receives the reports on his flagship. He is an old man with gray hair and tired eyes. He has seen too many battles, lost too many ships. But now his eyes light up with something he had almost forgotten: hope. "Send word to all human vessels," Reed orders. The Star Dancer is not alone. We stand with Captain Kale. One by one, human ships across the sector begin to change course. Merchant vessels, exploration ships, even a few military patrol craft. They all turn toward the battle between the Star Dancer and the Reapers. On the Reaper ship, Dex monitors the communication channels. "Commander, I'm detecting multiple human ships moving in our direction. They're coming to help." Vex cannot believe what he is hearing. How many? 12 ships so far. More are changing course every minute. For the first time in his long career, Vex feels something he has never experienced: doubt. The Reapers rule through fear, but these humans are not afraid. Worse, they are calling others to join them. The Star Dancer fires its small weapons at a massive Reaper ship. The shots barely scratch the dark hull, but they are not meant to destroy. They are meant to say something simple and powerful. We are here. We will not run. We will not surrender. And across the galaxy, that message spreads like wildfire. Asterisk. The first ship to arrive is the Iron Will, a human cargo hauler carrying grain to the outer colonies. Captain Stone is a tough woman with calloused hands and a voice roughened by years of shouting over engine noise. Her ship is old and slow, but she pushes it harder than she ever has before. This is Captain Stone of the Iron Will, she broadcasts as she drops out of hyperspace. We're here to help. The Star Dancer continues its deadly dance with the Reaper ship. Captain Kale allows himself a small smile when he sees the Iron Will appear on his sensors. Welcome to the party, Captain Stone. Hope you brought friends. More. Coming every minute, Stone replies. The whole sector is talking about what you're doing here. Commander Vex watches his sensors with growing alarm. The human ships are not military vessels. They are traders, explorers, colony ships, civilians. Who should be running in terror? Instead, they gather around the Star Dancer like wolves protecting their pack. Order them to leave. Vex commands his communication officer. Tell them we will destroy them all. The Krath officer, named Grix, sends the warning. But the human ships do not scatter. If anything, more appear on the sensors. The Dawn Trader, the Stellar Hope, the New Horizon. One by one, they drop out of hyperspace and take position around the Star Dancer. On the human colony world of Kepler, where sick children wait for medical supplies, the people gather in the Ossa streets to watch the sky. They cannot see the battle, but they can hear the radio broadcasts. Parents hold their children close as they listen to the voices of the brave humans fighting for them. The Star Dancer is still alive, reports a news broadcaster. 15 human ships now surround the Reaper vessel. They're not attacking, but they're not running either. In the depths of space, other alien races watch the confrontation with amazement. The Deltan High Council meets in emergency session. The Deltans are a peaceful race of blue-skinned humanoids who have lost 3 colonies to Reaper attacks. The humans are not fleeing, Council Leader Vel says, his voice filled with wonder. They stand together against the Reapers. Perhaps, perhaps we have been wrong to always run. Similar conversations happen across the galaxy. The Zephyrians, the Altarians, the Centauri, all the races that have cowered in fear of the Reapers for 2 centuries. They watch the human ships and begin to remember what courage looks like. Back in the battle zone, the Star Dancer is running on emergency power. Engineer Lisa has worked miracles to keep the engines running, but the ship cannot take much more. Punishment. The hull is scorched from near misses, and several systems are failing. Captain, Lisa reports, I can give you maybe 10 more minutes. After that, we're dead in space. Cale nods grimly. He looks at his crew. Tom still at the pilot. Controls, Bob monitoring sensors, Lisa working to keep them alive. They are tired, scared, but they have not given up. Listen up, everyone, Cale announces on the open channel to all human ships. The Star Dancer is badly damaged. We can't run anymore, and we can't fight much longer. But we've proved something important today. We've shown that the Reapers can be faced. They can be challenged. Captain Stone of the Iron Will speaks for all the other ships. You're not alone, Captain Cale. We're all in this together. The human ships begin to move. They are not warships, but they have tools that can be weapons. Mining lasers, construction beams, even simple ramming attacks. They spread out around the massive Reaper vessel like small fish surrounding a shark-dot commander. Vex feels something he has never experienced in his long career, fear. Not fear of death, but fear of failure. The Reapers have built their empire on terror. If that terror breaks, if other races see that the Reapers can be defeated, then everything changes. We must destroy them all, Vex tells his crew. If word of this spreads, every race in the galaxy will turn against us. But even as he speaks, Vex knows it is too late. The word is already spreading. His own sensors detect movement in distant star systems. Ships that have been hiding are beginning to move. The galaxy is waking up from its long nightmare of fear. The Star Dancer fires one last shot from its failing weapons. The blast is weak, barely a spark against the Reaper hull. But it carries a message that echoes across the stars. We are human. We do not surrender. We do not run. And we are not alone. In the command center of the human defense fleet, Admiral Reed watches the tactical display with tears in his eyes. 23 human ships now surround the single Reaper vessel. They are outnumbered, outgunned, and outclassed. But they are not backing down. All ships, Reed broadcasts to his fleet, set course for the battle zone, maximum speed. Our people need us. The tide is about to turn. Asterisk. The human defense fleet arrives like thunder in the void. Admiral Reed's flagship, the Defiant, leads 12 military vessels out of hyperspace. Behind them come ships from every human colony, freighters converted, to fighters, passenger ships carrying volunteers, even pleasure craft armed with mining equipment. This is Admiral Reed of the Human Defense Fleet, the old commander broadcasts. Any Reaper vessel in this system, you are ordered to surrender. Immediately. Commander Vex stares at his sensors in disbelief. What started as a simple attack on one small ship has become a massive confrontation. Nearly 100 human vessels now fill the space around his ship. His own vessel is powerful, but even the Reapers have limits. Impossible, Vex whispers. They should be fleeing in terror. His second-in-command, Dex, checks the tactical display. Commander, we're detecting more ships approaching from other systems. Not just humans. I'm seeing Deltan signatures, Zephyrian ships, even some Altarian. Vessels. For the first time in 200 years, other races are moving to fight the Reapers. The call of the Star Dancer has awakened something that the galaxy thought was dead, the courage to stand together against tyranny. On the bridge of the Star Dancer, Captain Cale watches the fleet gather around his damaged ship. His crew is exhausted. His vessel is dying, but they have accomplished something impossible. They have shown the galaxy that the Reapers can be challenged. Captain, Tom says, his voice filled with awe, look at them all. They came because of us. Cale nods, but his expression is serious. They came because it was the right thing to do. That's what humans do, Tom. We stand up for each other. The communication channels buzz with activity. Ship captains from a dozen different races coordinate their movements. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy is united against a common enemy. Captain Stone of the Iron Will takes charge of the civilian vessels. All cargo ships form up on me. We're going to use our construction beams to disable their weapons. Passenger ships, stay back and be ready to pick up survivors. The Deltan Council leader Vel arrives aboard the science vessel Wisdom. His blue skin shimmers with determination as he speaks to the assembled fleet. The Deltans have run from the Reapers for too long. Today, we fight alongside our human friends. Commander Vex realizes that his ship is now surrounded by hundreds of vessels. The Reaper doctrine has always been simple. Inspire fear, destroy resistance, move on. But this is different. These ships are not afraid. They are angry. We could still destroy many of them, Vex suggests. Our weapons are still powerful. And then what? Vex asks. More will come. We have awakened something that has been sleeping for centuries. The galaxy is no longer afraid of us. A moment that changes everything comes when the youngest member of the Star Dancer crew speaks up. Navigator Bob, barely 20 years old, opens a channel to the entire fleet. This is Bob from the Star Dancer, he says, his voice shaking but determined. I know I'm just a kid, but I want to say something. My grandmother used to tell me stories about the old days, before the Reapers. She said the galaxy was full of hope then. People explored, traded, made friends with other races. The Reapers took that away from us. Bob's voice grows stronger. But today, look around. Humans, Deltans, Cepharians, Altarians, we're all here together. We're not running. We're not hiding. We're standing up for what's right. My grandmother would be proud. The simple words of the young navigator touch something deep in every being listening. Across the fleet, crew members wipe away tears. On distant worlds, people gather around communication devices, listening to the voice of Hope. Commander Vex feels his certainty crumble. The Reapers have ruled through fear for so long that they have forgotten what happens when that fear dies. Looking at the massive fleet surrounding his ship, he sees the answer. Commander, Grix reports, I'm detecting Reaper ships moving in from other sectors. Fleet Command has ordered all vessels to converge on our position. Vex nods slowly. How many? 50 ships, maybe more. They'll be here within the hour. The final battle is coming. The Reapers are gathering their full strength to crush this rebellion before it can spread further. But the humans and their allies are ready. They have found something more powerful than fear. They have found each other. Admiral Reed addresses the fleet one final time. All ships, this is Admiral Reed. The Reapers are coming in force. We can still withdraw, and no one would blame us. But if we run now, the galaxy goes back to living in fear. If we stay, we have a chance to end 2 centuries of terror. The response is immediate and overwhelming. Every ship in the fleet responds with the same message. We stand with the Star Dancer. We stand together. The greatest battle in galactic history is about to begin. Asterisk. The Reaper fleet emerges from hyperspace like a swarm of dark insects. 50 massive vessels, each one capable of destroying a planet, spread across the star system. At their head is the Death Shadow, flagship of the Reaper High Command, commanded by Supreme Leader Crix. Crix is ancient, even by craft standards. His black eyes have seen the rise and fall of civilizations. He has personally overseen the destruction of entire star systems. The sight of the Allied fleet gathered around the small human ship fills him with rage. This ends now, Crix declares to his commanders. Destroy them all. Leave no survivors. The galaxy must remember why they fear us. But as the Reaper fleet moves into attack position, something unexpected happens. More ships continue to arrive. The Allied fleet grows from hundreds to thousands. Races that have been enemies for centuries put aside their differences to stand against the Reapers. The proud Centauri Empire sends its golden battle cruisers. The mysterious Void Walkers emerge from the dark spaces between stars. Even the ancient architects, who have slept for millennia, awaken their massive world ships to join the fight. On the bridge of the Star Dancer, Captain Kale watches the gathering forces with amazement. His small ship, barely holding together, sits at the center of the largest fleet in galactic history. "Tom," he says to his young pilot, "set course for the Reaper flagship. It's time to finish this." "Sir?" Tom's voice cracks with nervousness. "We're in no condition to fight." "We're not going to fight," Kale replies. "We're going to talk." The Star Dancer limps forward, supported by escort ships from the Allied fleet. As they approach the Death's shadow, Kale opens a communication channel to the Reaper Supreme Leader. "Supreme Leader Crix," Kale says, his voice calm despite the overwhelming odds. "I'm Captain Kale of the Star Dancer. I think it's time we had a conversation." Crix is ancient. Voice carries the weight of centuries. "There is nothing to discuss, human. You will all die today, and the galaxy will remember why they should fear us." "The galaxy already remembers," Kale replies. "They remember 200 years of terror. They remember planets burned, families destroyed, entire species driven to extinction. But today, they also remember something else. They remember that the Reapers are not gods. You're just another race, with ships and weapons like anyone else." Around the two flagships, the massive fleets face each other. Weapons charge, shields activate, and commanders wait for the order to attack. But the conversation between the two leaders continues. "You have doomed your species," Crix says. "Even if you defeat us here, the Reapers will return. We will hunt down every human world, every ally who stands with you." "No," Kale says simply. "You won't. Because today, the age of fear ends. Look around you, Crix. The galaxy is united. For the first time in 200 years, every race stands together. You can't fight all of us." Supreme Leader Crix studies his tactical displays. The numbers are overwhelming. The Allied fleet outnumbers the Reapers 20-1. More ships arrive every minute. The Reapers are powerful, but they are not invincible. "We could still destroy many of you," Crix says, but his voice lacks its earlier certainty. "Yes," Kale agrees. "You could, but it wouldn't matter. The galaxy has remembered how to fight. The galaxy has remembered how to stand together. Even if you destroyed every ship here today, tomorrow there would be more. The fear is broken, Crix. It can never be put back together." In the depths of space, on worlds throughout the galaxy, people listen to the conversation. Children who have grown up in fear of the Reapers hear hope in Captain Kale's words. Parents see a future where their children can explore the stars without terror. The moment of decision arrives. Supreme Leader Crix must choose between a battle that will destroy his fleet and a surrender that will end the Reaper Empire. His ancient mind processes the impossible situation. "What do you want?" Crix asks finally. "We want peace," Kale replies. "We want the Reapers to return to their homeworlds and never again terrorize the galaxy. We want the age of fear to end, and the age of hope to begin." The silence stretches across the star system. Then, slowly, the weapons of the Reaper fleet power down. The dark ships that have haunted the galaxy for centuries turn away from the battle. "It is done," Crix says. "The Reapers withdraw. But remember this, human. You have changed the galaxy. Forever. There will be consequences." "There always are," Kale replies. "But some things are worth the risk." As the Reaper fleet disappears into hyperspace, the Allied fleet erupts in celebration. The Star Dancer, the small human ship that refused to run, has started a revolution that will echo through history. The age of fear is over. The age of hope has begun. Epilogue, The New Dawn, 770 words. 6 months after the Battle of the Void, as historians would later call it, the galaxy looks very different. The Star Dancer, now fully repaired and upgraded, sits in the orbital dock above New Earth. Captain Kale stands on the observation deck, watching the busy traffic of ships from dozens of different worlds. The sight still amazes him. Deltan science. Vessels work alongside human freighters. Zephyrian exploration ships dock next to Altarian passenger liners. The fear that once kept the races apart has been replaced by curiosity and friendship. Captain, Talm approaches, now wearing the uniform of the newly formed Galactic Alliance Navy. The ceremony is about to begin. Kale nods and straightens his own uniform. Today marks the official signing of the Galactic Peace Accord, a treaty that will bind all the races together in mutual defense and cooperation. It's being signed aboard the Star Dancer, in honor of the ship that started the revolution. In the ship's cargo bay, now converted into a ceremonial hall, representatives from every major race in the galaxy gather. Admiral Reed, promoted to head of Alliance Fleet Command, stands at the podium. His gray hair is now white, but his eyes shine with the satisfaction on a job well done. 6 months ago, Reed begins, one small ship and its crew made a choice that changed everything. They chose to stand rather than run. They chose to fight rather than surrender. They chose hope rather than fear. The audience includes beings of every shape and size. Blue-skinned Deltans, tall Zephyrians with their feathered crests, the crystal-like, Altarians, and dozens of other species. At the back of the room, a small group of craft observe silently. Yes, even some of the former Reapers have joined the Alliance. Not all of them. Many retreated to their home worlds and refused contact. But a few, led by Commander Vex, have chosen a different path. Vex steps forward when his name is called. The former Reaper commander looks strange in civilian clothes, his black eyes still reflecting no light. But when he speaks, his voice carries sincerity. For 200 years, my people brought fear to the galaxy, Vex says. We believed that strength came from making others afraid. We were wrong. True strength comes from standing together, as these humans showed us. He turns to face Captain Kale. Captain, you and your crew taught us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. The Krath who follow me wish to join this alliance, to help build rather than destroy. The ceremony continues with speeches from leaders of every race. Council Leader Vel of the Deltans announces new scientific exchanges. The Zephyrian Flight Master speaks of joint exploration missions. The Altarian Chorus Singer shares plans for cultural festivals. But the most moving moment comes when young Bob, now promoted to navigation officer, reads a message from the children of Kepler Colony. The medical supplies that the Star Dancer was carrying that day finally reached them, and all the sick children recovered. Dear Captain Kale and crew, Bob reads, we want to thank you for not running away. Our doctors say we're all better now, because of the medicine you brought. Our teacher says you're heroes, but our parents say you're just good people who did the right thing. We think you're both. The message continues with dozens of names, each child adding their own words of thanks. By the time Bob finishes, there isn't a dry eye in the room. The formal signing takes place as the sun sets through the viewport. One by one, the representatives add their names to the treaty. The Galactic Alliance is born, dedicated to the principles that Captain Kale and his crew demonstrated: courage, unity, and the willingness to stand up for what's right. As the ceremony ends, Kale finds himself standing alone on the observation deck again. The stars look different now, not cold and hostile, but warm and welcoming. Ships from across the galaxy move peacefully between them, carrying not weapons of war, but goods for trade people seeking new homes, and messages of friendship. "Quite a view," says a familiar voice. Engineer Lisa joins him at the railing, now Chief of Alliance Engineering Corps. "It's beautiful," Kale agrees. "Hard to believe it all started with us just refusing to run. Maybe that's all it takes sometimes," Lisa says. "Just one person or one crew willing to say no to the bullies." In the distance, a new ship approaches the station. It's sleek and unfamiliar, clearly from a race that has never been seen before. First contact with unknown species was once a terrifying prospect. Now it's an opportunity for new friendships. The Star Dancer may be just one small ship, but it proved that even the smallest light can drive away the darkness. The galaxy is no longer afraid of the night because it has learned to make its own stars. The age of hope has truly begun. Asterisk.